What's up, guys? This is the Violet Casket, home to the lamest taste. My name is Nick. This is my amazing, awesome channel where I talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, music, albums, all sorts of really lame stuff that I enjoy. This is my weekly comic book review where I grab a bunch of stuff on my pull list that came out this past week. I read it, I bag and board it. I take pictures from my Instagram at Vinyl Casket Comics, at Vinyl Casket Comics. Then I come on here and I review it. I rank them from on a scale of 1 to 10. We talk about a little bit of whatever, how I feel and why and whatever. Normally we do a show, me, my friends, Manny Reads Comics on Instagram and YouTube, and Omni City Comics on Instagram, do a show that's released on YouTube on Manny's channel every single Tuesday. There's been some, overlacking unavailability on everyone's parts. Last week was me, and then they got distracted, and this week one of us can't do it, so maybe we'll do it tomorrow and it goes up on Tuesday. Who knows? But check out Manny's channel. He has a ton of cool individual reviews as well as a ton of episodes that we've done of the weekly roundup. Remember, as always, to check out my YouTube channel at The Vinyl Casket, where you can subscribe, like, and comment for more great things. I have a bunch of trailer reactions on there right now that are doing really well. And that being said, we're going to hop in. We do indies, Marvel, DC. We start off with Image Comic Books, issue 1, variant cover for Do a Powerbomb. This book surprised the living heck out of me. So I've recently gotten back into the world of watching professional wrestling, mostly just AEW, not really WWE, but loving it. And when I saw this was coming, I'm like, oh, I'm going to grab this. This looks cool. I'll give it an issue. If it sucks, it sucks. I don't read it again. Amazing. I love this wild, rough, like, sketchy, but, like, really beautiful, like, watercolor painted artwork. I love the whole story about how this girl grows up. Well, she's like a kid, and her mother's like this world champion in this weird Japanese, like, wrestling league, and it's like women wrestle men, which I don't really ever see that often. But she goes up against this guy, and this guy slips while trying to take the title and accidentally drops her, and realizes that as he's doing it wasn't intentional, and snaps her neck, and she dies. Like, she's there ringside, she watches her mother die, and her only goal in life now is to basically become a professional wrestler, and no one wants to give her a shot, and her dad's against it, and her dad is like telling her, like, I guess godfather, like uncle, like, don't train her, don't let anyone train her, all sorts of stuff like that. And this girl is now being led into this weird, like, necromancer demonic wrestling league where she's going to be given an opportunity to be like world champion. Very strange, very unusual, but really, really interesting and fun, and like really heartfelt. Like, the setup leading in the first half really makes you care about this relationship between the mother and the daughter, and makes you feel for the daughter and like want her to succeed in like living through her mother's legacy. This is an easy 9 out of 10 for me. For me to talk that much about a book, especially an indie, that's incredible. We move on to issue 4 of Slumber with a variant cover, also from Image. This issue was really cool. It's starting to really pick up and do a really good job of just being an excellent series. I do thoroughly enjoy this. It did not make my top 3. It is in my top 5. But it was really, really good. The series has been pretty interesting and like creative from the get-go, but like, borders on the realm of weird with its pacing and the content that it's talking about. So like, it always leaves me kind of like, what the heck did I just read? But like, enjoying it. This issue was pretty solid and made me very excited for what's to come. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. We move on to issue, is this 15? 15 of Radiant Black. This is the A cover. I passed on the variant cover. I think this is cool. This issue was awesome because all the references like to their in-universe like film franchises and how they're film nerds and fantasy nerds and like all these references are like coming to like together to the surface. The relationship between these two best friends, Nathan and Marshall, is really like well played here, and how like somehow like Nathan still has a connection to the Radiant, to existence, but even the robot doesn't understand why, and like they're both trying to figure it out, and it kind of makes Marshall uneasy. So like there's like this weird like dynamic going on, but they're like he's trying to prove like I'm your best friend, like I still care about you, and like really cool, and how like the radiant energy like is creating problems in other people's lives, and just a really cool power dynamic. This book is so good. It was one of my favorites. I love that it's expanding into multiple books. This is a 9 out of 10 easy. Issue 20 of Power Rangers. Ignore that it says 95. This is kind of how Marvel does their legacy number underneath the current run number, to tell you like, oh, if this was a continuous series, what they'd be on, which is weird because you have two Power Ranger series, Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, and Power Rangers is the series that doesn't even follow really normally the main 6 Rangers. Mighty Morphin does. So you would think Mighty Morphin, unless they're counting every issue as an issue for the legacy thing. I haven't really been paying attention. I haven't been collecting these covers, but this cover is awesome. It's amazing. We deal with Jason, the original Red Ranger, the Omega Red Ranger, the death of his mother. We found out about that 2 issues ago in Power Rangers. It was touching in on the end of Mighty Morphin, and now like we get to see the wake. It's a really emotional issue. The art was amazing. Was it? It's Marco Renna on art. Art is amazing. Storyline was really emotional. The character development here is so crisp. They do it such an amazing job in this book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The build up with Andros, and how like he's kind of deceitful and what he's really after, I think is leading into that the Death Ranger special legacy miniseries that's going to be coming out. You see him with an Omega Morpher at the end. He's also wearing. I don't understand the black suit that he's been wearing. They call him Red Ranger, right? But he has not worn the Red Ranger costume yet. He's in this weird like. It's got the toy that recently came out. It's got the gold like weird symbol on the chest and the all black spacesuit. So I'm not sure exactly where that's going, but it's really cool, and it's a 9 out of 10. Awesome series. Highly suggest you get into it like I did. We move on to Marvel. All 3 books are Spider-Man books from Marvel this week. We start with the variant cover for Ben Reilly's Spider-Man issue 4, Spider-Side. Awesome issue. All I'm going to say is that I really liked this issue. It built up. It did a lot of stuff right. I think this is it. Yeah. I think this is it. This is the end. But the way they set up Spider-Side, kind of like how we like, oh, like this is the flashback. This happened in the whole Clone Saga, Ben Reilly's as Spider-Man era. But like, here's now a canon story. So even now today, Spider-Side is in this doctor's lab, possibly able to come back, possibly as a hero when Ben Reilly just became a villain. So like I think they kind of made this 5-issue miniseries just to create that possibility, so that when we go into this new storyline eventually, when Ben Reilly shows back up, they can say, "Oh, this is canon. Like this explains why we're doing this," and they bring back Spider-Side. I would like that. That would be awesome. 8.5 out of 10. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Issue 2 variant cover of Spider-Man 2099 Exodus. This issue finally got the borders. I think I missed that last issue. But this is all about Loki and this weird version of Valkyrie in 2099 and how there's a new Asgard and how that came about, and get this whole origin story on how Loki survived and Loki became a hero, and this whole redemption art for future version of Loki, and I loved it. I thought it was awesome. How Alchemax destroyed Asgard was really cool. Really, really awesome story. It was pretty solid. So far, this 2099 run has been really solid, and it only barely focuses on Spider-Man, on Miguel O'Hara, mostly on these other 29 characters and bringing them together for some kind of event. Exodus, whatever it is, awesome. 8 out of 10. Savage Spider-Man issue 4. There's only one more left. We see what came of Spider-Man and how he's now this second version of Savage Spider-Man. He's now like super smart, super intellectual, and like creates a brand new costume on the fly in the Hydra base. And is easily like a badass. Has organic web now, and it's red, and he's calculating all these things and having hypotheses and analyzing scenarios and making conclusions. And it was really entertaining the way his like they display his psyche and like the way his brain is not working, how it's hyper functioning, and he's breaking everything down, and like was able to trick all these guys and operate around them, and that was launching the virus, but reprogrammed it to do what he wants. It's very weird. One more issue. Awesome series, 7.5 out of 10. Then we get into DC with only 2 books. My major disappointment of the week was the DC Pride Tim Drake special. They kind of hyped this up as like, oh, Tim Drake's back. This is going to be a Tim Drake book. We're going to have a bunch of stories all about Tim Drake. And if you don't know, Tim Drake is the third Robin. He's a fan favorite. He was the main Robin for the longest time in my childhood, my adulthood, really, until Damian kind of stepped up in Grant Morrison's run. But then he was Red Robin, whatever. He's a fan favorite that has not gotten any spotlight in forever. And just mentioning his name gets fans very excited. And I know they did the Batman urban legend stories where they like helped him come out as bi, and you know, his breakup with Stephanie, spoiler, Batgirl, and this whole thing. And that was cool and everything, and giving him like a boyfriend. Awesome. Cool. New Tim Drake stuff. Gonna follow in with that. Awesome. I get it. I feel that I hear that this writer, 3 stories, all by this writer, and then there's gonna be a Tim Drake ongoing or mini series coming out with this writer. All this collected was all those issues of Urban Legends, the Urban Legends Christmas issue where Batman's about to leave after going into that run where he deals with Batman Incorporated and Abyss, that I hated Abyss. The issue right before that is the Urban Legends thing, and then the like 3 issues of Urban Legends, 3 mini stories in Urban Legends that lead into Tim Drake doing his thing, and then 1 original story, which is pretty cheesy, pretty corny. I don't really know how I feel about it. It wasn't bad. Artwork was solid. Story was pretty okay. It was just really cheesy, and I get that, like, you know, it's a character that runs around in spandex, and he's in his like late teenagehood, like, you know, he's probably like almost 20 or something, or maybe he's probably in his 20s. He's probably like 21, 22. I don't know. And like the whole elephant in the room thing, and the weird elephant, and him working with Impulse and Superboy was cool, but like not sure exactly what that means. I'm very, very skeptical about this upcoming series because it's a character that I want to be done right and done well. I want this character to be in the spotlight as long as possible. And then hyping this up as a special just to give us stuff that I already read was really annoying. Yeah, it's a waste of money for something I've already read that I don't know. It was a a 5. And then final issue of the week is issue 7 of Batgirls with the cardstock cover. This was cool. I enjoyed this. This issue was awesome. New story arc. We're in it. We are dealing with or maybe the second issue of a story arc. We're dealing with Seer now coming to them, and they're using Seer as bait to trap shit, what are they called? Those 3 guys that were working for the guy that did Fierce the Magistrate. But they were trying, there's 3 guys that they beat. I like the redesign of them, how like they kind of changed up their costumes, and then they somehow got out of police custody, and all the action here and the humor, the writing, the art. I'm upset that they changed the artist, but it's not bad. It's good. It's a solid issue. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think the having what's his name leading into the end, you have Dick Grayson, Nightwing come in, and his girlfriend, Batgirl, Oracle, Barbara Gordon being a badass. I enjoyed that. I thought it was awesome. I'm excited for the next issue. This series is awesome. I said 8.5, 8.5 out of 10. Boom. And that is my books for the week. All I got. Next week, I got a bunch of stuff that I'm very excited about. I will read that off real quickly. Okay. There was 2 issues that I missed. I wasn't able to get Alice Ever After. I think it's issue 3 or 4. And then the newest issue of Angel. They just didn't show up. They came out this week. My shop didn't get them for some reason. They weren't on the list originally. I asked if they were. They told me, oh, they weren't getting them. And then they were like, yeah, I don't know. They should have been ordered, or they didn't. Something happened. And then this week, I just got the email. Same thing. Missing a bunch of indie books. So I said something. Hopefully, excited for Spider-Man issue 4. Excited for World's Finest. Dark Crisis has 2 issues in Flash and Young Justice. I really hope. I Hate This Place comes out. It's supposed to, but who knows? Nightwing's coming out. Moon Knight's coming out. Something's Killing the Children. Rogue Sun. Hopefully, Vampire Slayer comes out. I really hope it comes out. I'll be very upset if it doesn't. And Miles Morales Spider-Man looks like it's going to be a really good issue. I'm happy I got into that series. With that being said, that's all I got. Check out my YouTube channel at The Vinyl Casket, where you can subscribe, like, and comment for tons of more stuff like this. Check out Manny's channel, Manny Reads Comics, on YouTube every Tuesday for a new weekly roundup video. Thank you guys so much, and remember to stay lame.